Greetings Hex and Counter players, and thanks for joining me for video 2 in my campaign series Vietnam Battle of Ap Bac series. We rejoin the battle at start of turn 10. In the north, the 2nd 11th Arvan Infantry Battalion continues to be ferried into the battle, but will be a while before it actually is able to move to the northern region of Ap Bac. Some leading elements are getting close, but that is about it. Bird Dog continues his risky mission of drawing fire and attempting to spot new VC positions. We achieved something of a milestone by taking our first bunker. Immediately we take some return fire from a VCB DDP, which we know is a rifle platoon in this trench position. So the first attempt was by a carrier, didn't bring up anything. Decided to have a ping at this anti-aircraft gun, but I think that's fairly impervious there at the moment in that bunker. So it's time to pour some heat on this trench position if we can. The recoilless rifle I think would be better against the bunkers, but I decided to give it a shot against the trench. The lack of success there means have to think about an assault in the next turn, and the engineer unit is quite useful in this role. So when you're out of ideas, bring in the gunships. So, against trenches, that's encouraging. Unfortunately, I only get one shot, so we'll bring in the other gunship. And success, getting them out of the trench position. Unfortunately, we've just got nobody close enough to take advantage of the fact that they're out of the trench, so they'll probably just skip back in the next turn. By the end of the turn, this is the situation. I've pushed some of our carriers forward. We're really daring the VC to assault them and get them into open territory where our gunships can mow them down. But we'll see how we go with that one. We hand over to the VC. The guy in the trench has a pot shot. .29-27, yep. So he has fired all his shots. And the start of our turn 11. The key brings up the hex addresses. In this situation there'll be common numbers will come up all the time, so it won't take you long to remember which hex belongs to which enemy firing unit. I thought this advance would activate an assault, but instead the VC rifle platoon withdrew in their turn. The interesting thing about 2726. It is an unfortified hex. Infantry in an unfortified hex presents our gunships with an excellent target. But before running in with them, we'll get good old Bird Dog to see if he can draw some fire and reduce the risk on our valuable gunships. So there's one firing and a recon reveal. Ideally, I would have liked to have eliminated this medium machine gun. But all we got was a retreat. But at this stage, I guess we'll just have to take it. And with the second gunship, of course, that VC platoon that I mentioned earlier. No effect. Must have rolled poorly then. And get our Huey into a safe spot. So it looks like it's up to the carriers to carry the day for us. No effect. No effect again. Looks like the infantry have to do it. No effect. So it looks like we might have to try and saddle up for an assault in the next turn. We just won't have enough points. I don't think you assault with these guards. I'll just that sniper's still quite strong on defence with 8, so these guys wouldn't be able to assault him. Hooray! And again, well done, that man. Reduced by 1. So all of a sudden we seem to be hitting the target. And again. So this is the ideal situation for us, is to try and get the VC into the open and out of these bunkers and trenches. Now the advance party of the 2nd 11 Battalion is this little group here who arrived in the first transport. What I think I might do here is dig in a couple of positions, because inevitably when I attack the north we're going to get disrupted units. So if we can have some improved positions back here, that'll give them a better chance to come out of disruption. Well, that's the theory as I sit here at the moment, but we'll see if that turns out that way when we finally get these guys landed on the map. But other than this task, it's really much more of the same as the Shawnee helicopters move backwards and forwards, delivering the battalion. So we'll just have to wait. It does say in the briefing, we should wait till they all get together rather than putting them in piecemeal, and I think that makes perfectly good sense. And so we hand over to the VC for their turn 11 of 30. So turn 12 is upon us, and we're rapidly approaching the halfway mark of the scenario. This sniper with his 8 defence points is proving to be a bit of a headache, but I'm sure we'll be able to assault him out eventually. This VC platoon looks pretty vulnerable here. He's already disrupted. And goodbye to him. So that's a bit of good news, and we also have the chance of pinging off this leader, so that will certainly help our cause. So we'll go for an assault. And goodbye VC Commander 2. Our advancing infantry places the sniper in a flanking attack position, so our overall position has improved. With the carriers, I have a go at seeing if I can draw out some return fire. It's a little return. But the real business of this turn, I think, will be this attack on the sniper. The engineer unit will be very useful in this assault role, especially combined with a US advisor, so reasonably optimistic here. Reduced by 1, so that's something, and we didn't take any damage, so that's reasonably successful, I think. Important not to blat away with everything. I moved this guy, security infantry, next to this trench. I was really expecting a counterattack of some sort, so perhaps that trench is vacant. So the all-important recoilless rifle. Do I have a punt at the sniper, or do I go for the anti-air machine gun. I think the anti-air machine gun, they're both 3 hexes away. This guy's going to be an issue for me, I think. So can our newly arrived air support turn the tide in our favour? Let's hope he's accurate. And these trenches. I thought I'd give Bird Dog a bit of a run around the north here in preparation for our 2nd 11th Battalion when they finally arrive. Well, it's recon reveal, so you might remember this is about our 3rd attack on this hex with the gunships, but there's something about this hex we just don't seem to be able to crack. But we'll keep working on it. Sadly, no joy with our artillery or our aircraft, and we move on to turn 13. First cab off the rank is good old Bird Dog with a recon reveal, which hits the money. Second recon reveal doesn't bring anything up. A regular customer. I was wondering here whether this little 4424 security infantry unit whether I should try and assault with a factor of 2 on this question mark, which is that 1 point machine gun, or put him in the trench. In the end I decided to go for the trench, and the reason for that was so that when we assault the sniper eventually, the sniper has somewhere to escape to. So rather than fight to the death, I'll give him the option of escaping into a hex, because I dare say he'll have a fight to the death type command. On to the capture of our first victory location, we hope. So at first I try the old blast him out method. Which was less than successful. Having the engineer in the assault, as I mentioned previously, always a good thing, especially with the US advisor. With those two guys, then you can just pump in some of these weaker units as try and bolster the attack odds. There we go. So our first victory location. Successful assault, and didn't cost us a lot as far as troops and that type of thing goes. So our next victory location has this VC rifle platoon. So I knew that 1 point LMG was in that hex. I was going to assault him with that 3-4 security unit, but didn't realise he was disrupted. This disruption had a fairly significant effect in the VC turn, in that it exchanged places with the light machine gun, so just watch for that in the VC turn. And lastly, the same old up in the north. They continue moving in, and we hand over to the VC for their turn 13. Note that we have one aircraft low on fuel, but that was a Shawnee that was about to land, so that wasn't a real big issue anyway. So our turn 14. So while I'm sorting out the helicopters and the north of the map, I have to admit, viewers, that I had to refer to the manual to make sure I was telling you the right things about bunkers and pillboxes. They are in many ways very similar. They both provide a defensive bonus for non-vehicular units. Each non-vehicular unit has 20 added to their defensive value, and in the situation of the pillbox, they are considered as hard targets. In other words, bunker is a soft target. All the attacking units will have their modified attack strength reduced by 25%. Note that vehicles cannot assault pillboxes, but can assault bunkers. Of course, fortifications provide a boost for morale, and pillboxes and bunkers have a separate retreat rule. The unit will become disrupted instead of retreating if in a pillbox or bunker. A unit that cannot retreat takes an additional strength point loss. Non-vehicular units in a bunker or pillbox will suffer a disruption in lieu of a retreat. So very interesting. I think in other John Tiller games, bunkers are hard, but not the case in Campaign Series. Only the pillboxes are hard targets in Campaign Series. So with that clarified, I think I will wrap up video 2 or episode 2 of my Ap Bac series. I hope you're finding it of some interest. Well, enjoy your gaming, and I'll get back to you soon with episode 3, where we advance to the halfway point of the scenario, and we'll have a review of the various scorecards. So I'll catch you then. Have a good day. Catch you next time.